photographing one of these structures that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. It's just off Highway 95, about 20 miles south of the city of Hawthorne in Nevada. And I've been wanting to photograph it, but it's always one of those deals. I'm always trying to get from point A to point B. But today I decided I'm going to stop and do it right. I'm going to be using my little Yashica Mat 124G. And you're probably familiar with this. It's twin lens reflex, waist level finder. It's just beautiful. I love this camera. It's so basic, and it's just fun to use. Not complicated. Load the film, crank it, it's going to cock. It's going to work all the time. Okay, now let's get this Yashica loaded up here. What we're going to do is first we have to go to the bottom, and you'll see the knob here for the C for close, then O for open. And we're going to have to rotate that, and you'll see this little lever came out here. That's how it locks. There's a little pin right here, and as you move this out, of course that whole arm moves forward to release it. Okay, so we can not open. The new reel will go here. We've already moved the take-up reel up here, and we can fine-tune that by just making a minor adjustment just to the advanced wheel right here. On the sides, we have these pins. You can pull this out and just twist it a little bit, and it'll stay wide open. This one works the same way. If you want to close it, then you just rotate it again, it pops right back in place. So just for convenience, we'll put it out there. And then we just put the film in here on this bottom section. Rotate that, pops right in, and just make sure it's secure. Over the top, not like a rollie. A rollie would go underneath, but this goes right straight over the top. And what we have to do then is put it in that little slot there. Okay, there we go. Now, as I said, we're going to advance it until we see the arrow on the paper backing, and we'll be stopping it right when it gets right there. A little red arrow here. Then all I have to do is close it. I always like to wiggle and make sure everything's nice and tight. Put this back up here and rotate this to the closed position. And you'll notice this will move in and lock on that pin on the bottom there. I like to always double check that. It's like seated nicely. And then all we have to do is advance this until we get to number 1. Strap out of the way. And like most twin lens reflex, we're going to close this down here, and it's ready to go. That's all there is to it. But I like to lock this too. We get this over here so now we can't accidentally fire it off. Put it up here, and then we can take the picture. But it's always safer just to leave this right here, and we're all set to go. Today I'm going to be using Delta 100. That's the Fuji film. It's 100 ASA, and I'll be using an orange filter. And the way these bayonet mounts work, the filter goes on the inside bayonet and just locks right in place. The same filters and lens shades that fit this fit on the rollie, so interchangeable. If you have trouble finding a filter that says Yashica, just look for the rollie. The rollie will be a little more expensive. Have the lens shade on, and we're about ready to go. I've got this all loaded, cocked, and we'll be walking over and photographing this interesting structure behind us. Okay, I thought I'd come down a little closer to show you how this sports finder works. You know, normally your waist level focusing, got a little pop-up hood here. See that? And so that gets your fine focusing. But if I want to get the camera up a little higher, all I have to do is push this front plate down. After I've done my focusing on the subject that I want to photograph, I push this down. I focus down here, of course. Push that down, and now I can look through the back here, and I have a much higher vantage point. And again, it's really good for following somebody. And so this is the way I like to shoot. Usually I focus down here, waist level, then I'll hold it up here, and also it kind of braces and it makes it a lot more sturdy. So I enjoy working that way. So I suggest you try that. If you haven't been doing that, it's a great little process. Okay, occasionally you can't all the lines parallel, so I'm going to exaggerate that keystoning. I'm going to get low and shoot up to some really interesting patterns with these pipes and all. So I'm going to use my waist level finder, shoot up here, and then I see a couple other things we're going to do. I don't know what this is here. It's some sort of pump, I guess, but that's pretty interesting. I'm going to get a picture of that. I like to get some close-ups, kind of mix things up a little bit. Well, that's kind of interesting. I'll get the foreground in focus and the background out of focus. That'll be pretty interesting. Excuse my backside. Okay, I'm going to walk around and get a few shots, and then I'll just put them in a little collage and show you what I've been doing. I hope that you got something out of the video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, like it, share it with your friends, and consider subscribing. And I want to again emphasize what a great camera this is, the Yashica Mat 124G. I think it's probably the best medium format entry-level camera you can get. It's just a dream to use, so much fun, easy to use. Get yourself a couple filters, maybe an orange filter, that's my favorite. And I have a polarizing filter. Get yourself a lens shade, and you'll have a great time. So I hope you enjoy it. Till next time, stay focused.